coblation in obstructive sleep apnea cases, both pediatric and adult, and in the Eastern India. And today he's going to talk on his experience in pediatric cases. So without any wasting any further time, I would request Dr. Tushar Kanti Ghosh to share his experiences on pediatric sleep apnea, where what is the role of endoscopy. So, in when the child is having snoring, disturbed sleep, is there a role of endoscopy and how it is? He's going to discuss on that. So, over to you, Dr. Tushar. As already mentioned here,
Yes.
you can in the chat group you can put your questions. Dr. Munka has already started a question.
Okay, I will.
Dr.
Yes,
Munka is already
it's
writing that.
very
So
yes,
please
yes,
go
yes.
ahead with your
Okay.
questions. So at the end
Uh,
of the session, I'll take one
yes,
of
yes.
the questions one by one. Dr.
Yes.
Ghosh.
Thanks. Good evening, everybody, and good evening all participants also, and thanks definitely Dr. Vikas overall taking the moderator charge. But I am honored basically, and thanks Jaida's SP division for giving this opportunity. Now I will share this. Yeah. Now, endoscopy in pediatric sleep-related disorders, helpful? It is the myth or reality? It's very interesting. I will show up to 55 years, still there is a lot of problems suffer from childhood, but not done any endoscopy. Okay. All the pictures and videos shown in the presentation consented for disclaimer. I'm Dr. Tushar Kanti Ghosh, the director of this Ghosh ENT Hospital, a super specialty ENT hospital, 18-bedded ENT hospital to OT. Now, the nasal congestion or stuffy nose occurs when nasal and adjacent tissues and blood vessels become swollen with excess fluid, causing a stuffy, plugged feeling. Serious condition in children whose sleep is disturbed. Infant, we will discuss this point only. Now, such as different weather, nasal congestion can be caused anything that irritates or inflames the nasal tissue. Now, the associated symptoms with obstruction, nasal obstruction, snoring may come with snorting, recurrent cough is very important, recurrent cough, bed wetting, poor performance, poor growth, attention deficit, which type of sound, associated problem. Now, potential cause of nasal congestion include definitely allergy, rhinitis, sinusitis, common cold, decongestant overspray use, deviated septum, dry ear. But adenoid is the one of the important cause. This is the underdiagnosed. Okay. Now, if you see with if you evaluate with nasal endoscopy, you will see the huge mucoid secretion with soft tissue mass in the nasopharynx. Another is the DNS will be there, thick secretion will be there also, may see the adenoid also. Okay. If you do endoscopy, sometimes X-ray NAD, but if you do endoscopy, you will see the huge adenoid. Sometimes written prescription adenoid is there, but you see there's the moderate adenoid, not required surgery. Unless and until the produce the ischium tube dysfunction and also the recurrent wavy all ear problem will be there. Otherwise, not required this surgery. How will we evaluate without endoscope? With X-ray is very difficult. Sometimes CT scan also is very difficult to diagnose in this way. So endoscopy give the proper information. Look this way, X-ray. This same patient, X-ray, not seen anything, NAD. Patient's party also confused, but still there's the problem recur, the sleep-related problem complain. If you do endoscopy, you see this is the all mucous secret. After suction, you will see the thick secretion. After thick secretion, the huge adenoid tissue will be there. So this is the benefit of endoscopy. Look here, I will show 2 years of age. If you do endoscopy only with the adrenaline drop, nasal drop, oxymetazoline or xylometazoline drop, after 5 minutes after drop, just create the space, hold the head and hand. Also, just put the nasal endoscope 2.7 mm periodic endoscope. You will see the and clear picture. Adenoid is there or not, another problem is there or not, polyp is there or not, any thick secretion is there or not, secretion coming from sinus cavity or not. Now see there, what is the picture? If you do endoscopy, simply if you see the endoscopy, just suction after suction, huge adenoid will be there after clearance of the picture. Now what is the problem now? This patient not a big adenoid facet, not denture problem, but this type of sleep disturbance is there. Parents suffering for 2.5 years, gone the different doctor to different doctor, different pediatrician to different pediatrician, this type of sleep. And also gone these states to another states and done also polysomnography also. No one suggests only one endoscopy by any ENT surgeon for evaluation. Only they have seen, given the only anti-allergic spray all times, and patient party recorded. There is a lot of problem faced, but no one does one single, one pediatrician also not referred to any ENT surgeon for one endoscopic evaluation. Here, if you see the after endoscopic removal of adenoid, look the child condition. It totally life change, but only one endoscopy. If you do endoscopy, patient's party also will be convinced there is a problem. Adenoid is more than moderate, not a huge adenoid with a lot of secretion. Okay, and after adenoidectomy, life totally changed. Just I will show the picture. Just
নাম বলো তো। এবার উঠছে। হ্যাঁ, তুই ভালো আছো? তোমার অপারেশন হয়েছে 7 দিন আগে। গুড। তুমি এখন ভালো নিঃশ্বাস নিচ্ছ? তোমার সে পুরো দেখেছে আর বলেছে ইনহেলার।
তো আমি এটা ফেস করি, সর্দি আছে মানে তিনটে সঙ্গে সঙ্গে ডিসাইড
পেডিট্রিশিয়ান ওর নাম করে
কাছে আমি 2 বছর রাখলাম, কলম্বো এশিয়া দেখালাম, 5 ভিডিও মানে
এটুকু বাচ্চাকেও স্লিপ টেস্ট করেও যে তার কষ্ট।
হ্যাঁ, তারপর ওখান থেকে আমি যখন কিছু পেলাম না তখন
আমরা 60
যেটা হতো
লাগছে এই 7 দিন হয়েছে অলরেডি। সেম ডেতে বাড়ি নিয়ে গেছেন।
ওয়ান এন্ডোস্কোপি
আর কোনো কাশি হয়নি, ও নরমালি ঘুমাচ্ছে, খুব সুন্দর ঘুমাচ্ছে, মানে ওটা দেখেও আমাদের শান্তি হচ্ছে।
নাম বলো তো।
ওকে, one another I will show the document. During just sitting position also, huge pattern. All of documented. Look here, and patient suffering.
মতো কাশতে থাকে, তাই তো?
6 months.
এত কাশি।
20 মিনিট ধরে এক নম্বরে
দিয়ে উঠে পড়ে, তাই তো? উঠে পড়ে পুরো। আচ্ছা ডাক্তারবাবু, আপনার বাচ্চা ডাক্তারবাবু তো আপনাকে ইনহেলার মানে চেস্ট এক্সরে করিয়ে ইনহেলার মানে স্ট্রেট সবই দিয়েছিল। কতদিন ধরে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে? কতদিন ধরে ট্রিটমেন্ট করছেন? কিচ্ছু লাভ হচ্ছে না, তাই তো? অবশেষে আপনারা চলে এসেছেন এখানে।
No improvement. Look here, the endoscopy picture. Adenoid, not huge, not all-time mouth breathing. Huge, thick secretion all time coming from the whole sinus cavity. After operation also, we have done nasal spray, normal saline and spray also for few days. Okay, and salt spray type, normal saline also. After the patient total absolutely normal. This is the only one endoscopic evaluation required also. Now another this picture also you see the all seroflow, anti-allergic all times. No one suggests one endoscopic evaluation. Spirometry done also, but no one suggests only one endoscopic evaluation. Look here, but simple test, X-ray, radiation exposure repeated. But if you do only simple nasal endoscopy, this is very simple. 1 year of age, we have done endoscopy and diagnosed the adenoid enlarged. Not done then surgery. After 2 years of age, again we have given every treatment, endoscopy, spray, anti-allergic, nasal drop. Sometimes also we've seen 2 years of age, adenoid is there. If not symptomatic, not symptom relieved, after with this all treatment, sometimes required surgery, sometimes again you should wait. But after doing endoscopy, the improvement was there or not. If no improvement, suffering, prolonged suffering and severe suffering, then you should do surgery in 2 years of age also. But if improved with, if you see with endoscopy, if you improve, then you should not do surgery. Okay. Now another picture, 7 years, spirometry normal. Still pediatrician and chest specialist also given the spray, inhaler, anti-allergic steroid. Not done one, not suggestion endoscopic evaluation by ENT surgeon also. Okay. Not referred to ENT surgeon. So this is the pathetic. We feel pathetic sometimes. Now you see, 7 years of age, moderate adenoid, okay, avoid surgery. After giving the spray, also anti-allergic also adenoid enlarged after 6 months also, and patient suffering also day by day, not improved. So all time, if you give the spray anti-allergic, not improved, sometimes required surgery, but serial endoscopy sometimes required to convince myself also and to convince parents also. Okay. Now this is the trend line, not collision each other. Okay. Three trends coming each other. Now the ENT surgeon in midpoint, chest and pediatrician coming together, but we should not fight each other. We should refer each other for evaluation according to problem. If I do the endoscopy, no problem is seen, but still problem is there, we should refer the pediatrician or chest according to, we should treat the patient, but not fight each other. We should refer each other. Okay, you see, up to 7 years of age, only spray anti-allergy. This still not done any endoscopy. Okay.
Hello.
Last.
Sir, we are not able to hear your voice, sir. Because of the video, now we are not able to hear your voice.
Okay, this video sound is there?
Yeah, it is very loud and your sound is less, sir. So
oh, I put that time only,
okay,
time being.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Now you see, after operation, fantastic life. So life will be changed. Few just after endoscopy and surgery. So why? This is the case of huge tonsil, huge adenoid and Prader-Willi syndrome. With Prader-Willi syndrome, also not suggested a pediatrician also. So all are cautious about the surgery. Okay, but if you with Prader-Willi syndrome also, if you correct this properly, tonsil adenoid, definitely result will be fantastic. But you should counsel before operation also. Sometimes maybe problems, slight bit of 10%, but we should do endoscopic adenoidectomy, all tonsillectomy. Why endoscopy? I will explain later on. Why everything endoscopic adenoidectomy also why required. I will show that also. This is the life change, totally change of life, and family happiness totally change. This patient also gone ICU at least 3 times. Now another case. This case. Also severe sinusitis, frontal sinus problem also, 30 days meropenem given also. The history is there. I have sorry.
chest specialist
And also all are different chest specialists also told that every day you should cover, change the bed cover. Allergy problem, but still patient suffering all times, lot of problem, lot of snoring, breathing problem, and advised by chest specialists also please do change the everyday bed sheet, but not done any endoscopy. After endoscopy and after surgery also.
নমস্কার ম্যাডাম আপনার মেয়ের নাম কি
Look here. Suffering from Bangladesh, the huge adenoid, and not diagnosed properly.
তার মানে ভোগান্তি চূড়ান্ত শুধুমাত্র অ্যালার্জি নমস্কার ম্যাডাম তারপরে
see, not endoscopy done, but CT scan done. But here, just only one endoscopy required also. This picture after surgery. This is the picture of, is very interesting. Look at just before surgery. This is the sound. This parents was told by physician, this is the obese patient, so it is not possible.
আচ্ছা ওর অসুবিধাটা কি হতো?
So it is the
এরকম করতো। আচ্ছা আপনার ওই যে খুব
all time they told that is the obesity problem.
তারপরে আপনি এসে দেখলেন যে এখানে রোগা বাচ্চারও অ্যাডিনো হলো, তাহলে কি করতে?
সবচেয়ে বড় কথা হচ্ছে ভিডিও দেখেছি একটা
Basically she was told that is the obese patient, so not recovered by the treatment. So you just reduce the weight and your kids will be normal. But she thought how it is possible. my kid is the bulky from childhood. So how is it possible? So after doing surgery, this weight, with this weight also, patient is fantastic. But how is the patient convinced? That just simple endoscopy, you should see, check the nasal cavity. The huge adenoid is there, and there's the life change. Totally happy patient. You just see the smile.
রোগা বাচ্চার অ্যাডিনয়েড হয়েছে এবং সুস্থ মতো বাড়ি গেছে, তখন আমার শান্তি হলো যে না আমার বাচ্চা এখন আর নেই, সুস্থ স্বাভাবিকভাবে আছে।
Now this is the patient, and not endoscopy done up to 15 years.
আমি আমার এখন খুব নিঃশ্বাস নিতে প্রবলেম হতো, ঘুমোতেও পারতাম না, কানে অসম্ভব ব্যথা হতো, যেহেতু অ্যাডিনয়েড ছিল করা হবে প্রবলেম হয় না।
Now the done endoscopy and surgery experience my, and is the 45 years she was treated by only allergy, not done any endoscopy, still this age, and a huge adenoid is there, and she knows that he has allergy, so breathing problem, night problem, so before marriage also problem was there. Now this is the 32 years of age, huge adenoid, but no one diagnosis. From childhood my pediatrician,
আপনার কি কষ্ট হয়?
all time problem
জল পড়ে করা হলো। আর বড় মাংস adenoid gland
endoscopy, you look here, the huge
this is the adenoid
adenoid up
gland,
to 30 years.
32 years
So
of
this is
age.
the myth, automatically will be vanish, not vanish. If now the why endoscopy required before surgery also, sometimes after surgery also. This year, before 2 years of age in Manchester, adenoid tonsillectomy done, but no one mentioned the endoscopic adenoidectomy, and tonsillectomy and adenoidectomy. Sometimes we tell that if adenoid also with conventional also, no chance of recurrence. Believe me, there is a chance of recurrence. A lot of patients we have seen every day. Now this patient after operation also, patient party is not happy at all, same problem, repeatedly told the surgeon, and he was diagnosed also allergy problem, and doctor told that this is an allergy problem, so not recovered. But patient party was totally unhappy, came back to India. After they convinced the endoscopy, please do endoscopy. 2 years of age, huge adenoid was there. So adenoidectomy done. So why basically incomplete surgery was done? The residual adenoid was there. So not done, I think, I don't know, not done endoscopically, and after surgery also patient feeling also problem. So not done endoscopy after operation also. So we have done endoscopy, and this is the picture. Look here, and this is a picture. During surgery, there's a picture. Slide or small, only small space is there, and it's the first time patient after surgery able to sip. Otherwise, not able to sip. Basically, this type. And this is the picture with after coagulation endoscopic adenoid, 2 years of age. Now we think that without endoscopy also, with conventional technique also, no chance of recurrence with any conventional now recurrence. The surgery done also, and patient is also sometimes why we think that no recurrence, because the patient is happy some way. The happiness, there is no grade, no score, happiness score. So if we do the 50% adenoid patients, the previous 100% problem, so 50% relief also, happiness will be there. But sometimes patient complain again, recurrent OME. If we do endoscopy, then you will see the problem again. The institution tube block, again the problem. This is the operation done before, but not endoscopically. So if we do endoscopy after operation also and before operation also, there will be a lot of change, a lot of quality of evolution, proper evolution. Look here, this is the patient also. That the same operation was done adenoidectomy also and grommet also, but again adenoid also seen after 1 year also, and the feelings, see the feelings.
बच्चा नाम की?
अनन्या।
क्या प्रॉब्लम था पहले?
एडिनॉइड ही था।
एडिनॉइड था, कान में क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है पहले?
Endoscopy. Again कान दुखता है, again कान दुखता है, same problem again face, and done endoscopy and totally more than moderate size adenoid.
1.5 साल মধ্যে আমি দেখো,
and within 1 year adenoid, huge adenoid problem, but not done endoscopically, repeated, still being the complaint by the patient party also. So why endoscopy required? Look here, 54 years of age, no one done endoscopy up to, and patient was thinking this is the denture is totally abnormal denture, protruding denture. And in the bleeding complaint, patient come to, so we thought also the lymphoma type. After a biopsy, we confirm this is the basically lymphoma, not a lymphoma, it's the adenoid tissue, the biopsy report. So after done, complete surgery was done. So 54 years stuck. So 54 years adenoid was there, not really properly. So if adenoid, a huge adenoid, if you see serial endoscopy, sometimes not improved with all sorts of medicine. If huge adenoid, then it will remain. And sometimes if we do the CT scan, lot of doctor also done the CT scan also. If we do the CT scan, we'll see the lot of collection in the different sinus cavity. And we are thinking that's the sinus problem, we'll do the surgery. But believe me, sometimes not seen properly the adenoid. If you see the properly adenoid, is the huge adenoid will be there. If you do only adenoidectomy, if not polyp, huge polyp, thick polyp, if you do only polyp, only adenoid, when you do the adenoidectomy, you will see thick secretion coming from the maxillary sinus, sphenoid sinus, all thick secretion coming. And after a few days, if you, and during surgery also, if you wash clearly, properly, and suction clearance, after surgery also nasal irrigation, if you put, then all problem will be subside. Again, if you interested to do CT scan also, after 4 months, all will be settled down. So adenoid with sinusitis, with secretion only adenoid surgery dorkar. But how will I evaluate it? Why only endoscopically? So definitely there will be lot of investigation. IG, absolute insulin-flecain, skin prick test, immunotherapy, all. Please, I don't mind, but please should do one nasal endoscopy. By pediatrician also refer to ENT surgeon, should refer to ENT surgeon for endoscopy evaluation, and ENT surgeon also should evaluate by endoscopy only. There is a lot of problem you will see. The definitely adenoid, nasal polyp, nasal tumor, foreign body, definitely there is a different type of problem, patient complain, and X-ray, we do X-ray. But if you remove the through endoscopy, this is more comfortable. Gross deviated, hypertrophic turbinate, sinusitis. CT, definitely CT scan sometimes, but not required regularly. Why unnecessary you expose the radiation hazards? Only endoscopy sometimes sufficient to diagnose properly. If you do the endoscopy, but still breathing problems there, no, then you do only flexible endoscopy at the time. But before that, a rigid endoscopy sometimes sufficient to know the breathing problem, breathing difficulty, OSA type examination. So now we'll show, this is very simple, how it will be overcome with endoscopy, and I definitely prefer the coblation. Definitely there is also good instrument, micro rebreather. But if you love the adenoid, if you habituated adenoid, if you love the one instrument, the coblation, if you habituated within coblation, you is beyond impossible to do with other instrument. Okay, this type of comfortable, and you will see this. Look here, the same admission and endoscopic examination. After that, just palate retraction, mouth gag, and space created. And also the from up, downwards, total debulking, this type of movement, and without any drops of blood, white skin, up to perimyceal sheath, periosteal sheath, and adenoid will be clear totally.
বলো बताओ तो মৈত্রী
and also after 3 hours patient totally normal
খুব খেয়েছো
and same this is the another case sometimes with OSA, with tonsil. If tonsil there also
বলো নাম বলো তোমার
you just
তুমি
do the tonsillectomy under a microscope, right handed right side, left sided left hand. I use the left hand left side, and there is a coblation, 100%.
No bleeding at all.
No bleeding at all. And after tonsillectomy also you should rub it, and if any bleeding from peritonsillar vein, okay, any bleeding, periconcellular, just coagulating. Okay, and pain will be definitely less. Does not include the muscle, the leg muscle. Okay, this way, and also after same the adenoid and no bleeding, and the uneducated city definitely. And after that,
ভর্তি হয়েছিলে
same patient.
কি অপারেশন হলো তোমার
After
টনসিলেক্টমি
3
হলো
hours and same day discharge.
ভালো আছে তো এই বাড়ি চলে যাচ্ছ
Believe that
সকালে ভর্তি হয়েছিলে এখন 4:35 বাজে বাড়ি চলে যাচ্ছ ঠিক আছে খুশি কোনো কষ্ট আছে রক্ত বেরোচ্ছে
will go.
একদম নরমাল
Dr. Ghosh?
Yes, yes.
Sir, I think while the video is on, sir, you should not be talking because I'm not able to hear anything.
Oh,
That's why
yes, yes.
No one can hear what you are saying.
Sorry. Now, I think no video is there
Okay,
now.
okay.
Okay, sound. Now, this very important picture, Dr. Vikas also, I think, agree with this picture later on. So, we are the favor of adenoid surgery or some surgery of in pediatric OAC also. We are some surgeon, 15% surgeon or 20 or 5%, the favor of adenoid surgery. And the 85% ENT surgeon also blocking. Pediatric doctor also, and the patient party also not favoring the surgery, not get relief the adenoid, the relief of the obstruction, homeo, GP, chest. Lot of obstacle we are facing day by day, not diagnosed properly, not interested to do the surgery. Sometimes required surgery, but on all are obstacle. Yes. Now still we are getting a lot of patient because why? The result patient speaks to another patient, and this lot of patient we are getting and giving the relief. Just convince the patient and own convince also, myself convince. If you put the endoscopy and you will be sure this patient will be relieved after surgery or not. With endoscopy, I am not convinced at all sometimes this patient will be relieved or not because is my patient. So questionable, we are questionable. Without relieving the patient, at unnecessary patient blame you. Why unnecessary? You have done the surgery. But if you do endoscopy, you clearly see this is a real obstruction was there. So after surgery, you will really give the result. Now this is also follow-up. I'm not giving the video. It's a fantastic thinning, the lot of secretion and cough. 2 years, last 2 years after adenoid, totally vanished the cough and totally happy this way. And also one cardiologist also faced the problem, 7 years of age, and done the tonsil adenoid after that. Such a gratifying surgical result translated into the unlimited energy. But we to mention that the doctors also thinking that it will be automatically vanish and also all our allergy problem. And so we are thinking it is not. If required, then surgery required, definitely. And also without adenoid also, turbinoplasty. I'm not favor of turbinoplasty with coblation. The microdebrider also required. Turbinoplasty in case of young adult, not below 3 years, 4 years. I'm not preferring, I don't know, because also suggest in below 3 years, 4 years. In below 3 years, 4 years, I'm not dying, but after 7 years, 8 years, a young adult, sometimes I doing the turbinoplasty with the microdebrider with channel blade. Yes, look here, this is mucosa will be preserved, and tunnel technique, I am reducing the soft tissue mass. Okay, slowly without injuring the mucosa. So automatically it will be debulk automatically, and according to your wish, you will debulk it, and nasopharynx will be seen properly. Okay, and crusting will be less, then diathermy, and then laser also, then coblation also. It is my observation. I don't know others' observation. This is my experience. With microdebrider, I am more comfortable with turbinoplasty with the microdebrider. Basically, in case of young adult, if you injure or if you cut the turbinate, this is a lot of problem. But in young adult, if you do this way, this is more comfortable. I am doing in young adult also, I'm doing the endoscopic septoplasty. If after endoscopic evaluation, I think it is required, I do endoscopic septoplasty also. This is the incision, definitely endoscopic incision and flap elevation endoscopically After that, according to requirement, you just remove some bony part, some cartilage, and also you correct during table also. You will see the how correction required or not in according to you correct it. So sometimes the huge secretion, polyp up to frontal sinus. So according to requirement also, you should do also frontal sinus surgery also in young adult also. Other causes of nasal staphylococcus, nasal polyp, non-allergic rhinitis, occupational asthmatic, respiratory syncytial virus, thyroid disorder, tobacco and other irritant smoke, craniofacial anomaly, neoplasm. But treatment depends on the underlying cause. Okay. Not only allergy without knowing anything, only putting the spray and anti-allergic. I have seen a lot of problem. I am fed up in my chamber seeing the lot of folder of prescription with anti-allergic and spray after the steroid and anti-allergic. No one suggests sometimes endoscopy also. Simple one endoscopy give idea, total idea, clear idea. Okay. The nasal congestion, there is a typical decongestion, rebound congestion also. So nasal, definitely there is a lot of treatment, but according to your problem, treatment depends. But I myself think the gold standard test for evaluation of nasal stuffiness is the nasal endoscopy on OPD basis in case of children. Not X-ray, not CT scan, not IG, not absolute eosinophil count. This is all a later part. This is the first is the endoscopy, my observation. This is my observation, not by others, my own observation in my practice. And one myth about adenoid, nasal obstruction. Adenoid will be vanished after few years. It's a myth. Adenoid size will be reduced after nasal spray and Montelukast. I've also documented, not reduced. After surgery, adenoid will not recur any means in the conservative, in the curettage method also not recur. It's a myth. There is a lot of recurrence we have seen day by day. All nasal stuffiness and cough are allergic in origin. This is also wrong concept by lot of pediatrician doctor. All adenoid enlargement should remove. No. According to symptom, according to endoscopic evaluation, you should evaluate first and then you will decide it is the treatment will be depends or not, and really is the favorable and really benefit will be there or not. Then you decide the surgery because the patient is yours. You are questionable. So before surgery, you just consent yours and you will convince, hey, this is the if I do the surgery, then patients will be benefited after surgery. So if only allergic component, conservative and immunotherapy, definitely. But there is a role for the ENT surgeon, not giving only anti-allergic and nasal spray only. Surgical intervention to relieve the nasal obstruction. Adenoid, if you see the adenoid, big adenoid obstructing, and with the means anti-allergics, intranasal spray not relieved, you should do adenoid surgery. If spray anti-allergic, sometimes with spray not relieved, also polyp required or removal also required. Deviated septum, definitely not after 16 years, 18 years only. If suffering much more with adenoid, why not doing the septal surgery also for really benefit of the patient required also. If hypertrophy turbinate, so do turbinoplasty also. Why the harm? No harm, believe me. Obstructive sleep apnea, nasal tumor required the surgery also. So thank you. It is my experience, not a journal publication, or is my experience. It is not a periodic OSA paper, basically. It is my experience, nasal stuffiness or nasal obstruction or breathing related problem. We should do one endoscopy. It is the very simple 2.57 mm endoscope is there, not Hawk or not Chinese. And good endoscope, Geomed or Storch or a good endoscope is there. You just take the one endoscope and do endoscopy, and if flexible, sometimes required in case of vocal cord paralysis, respiratory problem also sometimes required. If not, any nasal obstruction is there, sometimes different problem if you face, then definitely you should do with flexible. But routinely you may, my suggestion or my experience, also rigid endoscopy give the good quality of picture also, give the proper idea, sinusitis, thick secretion, eustachian tube orifice, and obstruction really with palate's problem or not, and required or not. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Vikas, personally, for giving this moderator, taking the moderator part. Okay, now Dr. Vikas Agarwal, please, yes, something.
No, I think it was a really excellent talk, and as you rightly showed that picture, that everybody is stopping for the child to get from getting operated.
Yes.
So there are two parts of it. Like you rightly said, can you stop sharing your screen?
Yes, that I'm searching. 1 minute.
There's a red button called stop share.
Yes. Now this, yes.
So basically, there are two parts of it. One is that children who really require adenoidectomy, and their pediatricians are not allowing them to, get operated. That is one part. The second part is that sometimes our ENT surgeons also overdo it, right? Even for grade 1, grade 2, they try to operate. Like you rightly said that every adenoid need not be operated.
Yes.
That brings a question from Dr. Selvarajan and Nagarajan. After which age you'll go for adenoidectomy? Any criteria?
No criteria. Basically, I have participated also one different forum, also different webinar. There is no criteria, because if you are confident, patient really suffering, if you are confident, your good anesthetists are confident also, you may do. I have done also 1.5 years. I have picture also 1.5 year age. I have done adenoid, huge adenoid is there. Rose every day is the problem.
So the question, will you do it in 3 months of age?
Basically, I have never done, but I have no opportunity I have seen.
Suppose if you see a child with enlarged adenoids at 3 months, 4 months of age, will you still go for adenoid surgery?
No, I have seen also 1 year, but I convinced up to 1.5 year I will give the spray. And,
why?
Yes,
Correct. So why that? So that is the criteria. See, till the child is at least 8-9 kgs of weight, and the airway size is good enough to give a safe anesthesia, you will not like to take up the patient. So this is the answer to your question, Dr. Selvarajan, that after which age? So generally 1.5 year, I agree that this is the age by which the child's airway is at least decently correct. So even I have operated childs which are 14 months of age, but not younger than that. Second reason is that the adenoids are very soft in those children. If you give some oral steroid along with nasal sprays, most of the children and the adenoids will at least regress, because adenoids are lymphoid structure, and lymphoid tissue, both tonsil and adenoids, will reduce in response to steroids. So if you give steroids, you'll be able to buy up some time till the time the child's airway has become mature to give a safe anesthesia. Dr. Raj Lakshmi Panigrahi.
And also I have shown also one picture, 1 year of age. I have started spray anti-allergic also. I have shown again 2 years of age. Then after that, I counsel the patient party also, that this is the picture. I have given the 1 year treatment, still not regress. So now your court, your ball in your court, you are interested to do surgery or not?
So there's a question on this from Dr. From Abhedya Burgohen, sorry, Bargohen. Sorry, I may not be able to pronounce it well. So till how long you give the steroids, and which steroid? Mometazone nasal spray?
Mometazone, I have given the 6 months, 8 months. Definitely in between, I ask the patient party, please come and check and according to, but 1 year, 2 years, you may use the Mometazone also. Mometazone, 1 year, 2
correct.
years.
So if you see a grade 4 adenoid completely blocking the choana, you think it will go away with Mometazone spray?
No, not at all. Basically, I don't believe.
Correct. So I'm just trying to clarify the points that if you see a grade 1, grade 2 adenoid, which is 25% to 50% of the choana,
Yes, not
then
require surgery. Just
then
put
surgery is not
nasal
required.
spray.
Correct.
Yes, yes.
Very
Yes,
small
yes,
child, even grade 3, grade 4, give some oral steroid, it will
yes.
become grade 2 and you'll get some time.
Yes, and
But
will
if you have
die
a
the
grade 3, grade 4 adenoid in a child who's 3 years, 4 years of age, giving steroid even long term, the child will improve by 10,
yes,
15%. He's not going to improve completely. So these are the criteria. I believe that if you have seen at the grade 3, grade 4, large adenoids in little older child, straight away go ahead for surgery, remove the adenoids completely, and you'll have a good result. Now the question there is that what is the diameter of the endoscope you use and what anesthesia from Dr. Raj Lakshmi?
under general anesthesia definitely, and in OT, OT or OPD.
No, no.
Hello?
So you do the endoscopy in the child under general anesthesia.
No, in OPD under local anesthesia only. No
OPD under
general
local.
anesthesia.
So
Local
generally
anesthesia.
you prefer to do it under local or
Under
general?
local.
Under
No,
local,
just
always
OPD.
under local.
OPD.
Just
basis,
OPD.
holding the head and put the nasal drop and adrenaline
Correct.
drop also with mixed of xylometazoline, oxymetazoline, xylometazoline, and put the nasal drop, 10 minutes waiting. After that, my assistant will hold the head and hand
Correct.
also, and just put the nasal endoscope, 2.7 mm pediatric endoscope. All
Pediatric
time.
endoscope. Correct. So I think that's a very, very important thing. Never take a patient to give anesthesia only for examining. You cannot do that. So, and right, like Dr.
In Downs baby, you may, I have one experience, two experience.
Fine,
In
that's
Downs baby also. That's the different.
okay. That's a different thing. But
Anesthesia,
generally, this is the
general
answer to the
local
question of Dr. Raj
Yes.
Lakshmi. Then she has asked, do you use microdebrider for adenoidectomy?
If you are habituated with coblation, not possible to do again microdebrider. I have done microdebrider for 12 years. After that, now the 8 years I have doing the with coblation. It's a fantastic instrument. Definitely, microdebrider, some argument will be there. Is the fold instrument is the, but with coblation is a fantastic plane and without any drops of bleeding. Is the like Porsche car basically. It's smooth, it's very, very smooth, and you love it when you just when you using initial few surgeries, definitely difficulty face. After that habituated, I think not require any microdebrider. Just with coblation is fantastic instrument with coblation.
Okay, should we always do tonsillectomy with adenoidectomy?
No,
is
no,
again
no.
from Dr. Raj Lakshmi.
No, that is not. I counsel the patient in grade 2 tonsil, no. Grade 3, grade 4, I counsel. Grade 4, definitely 100% I try to do with tonsillectomy with adenoidectomy. But grade 2 tonsil, I never do in case of sometimes if patient complain, recurrent also throat infection, then I counsel for adenoid with tonsillectomy. In grade 3, so I ask and counsel the patient. If you're interested, I do with same charge with adenoid and tonsil. Grade 4, no option, adenoid and tonsillectomy.
Correct. And do you do intracapsular tonsillectomy if required?
Yes, Dr. Vikas also, I have seen also your recording. Intracapsular adenoid also, tonsil also, I have done only 3 years or small 4 years only, but mainly extracapsular. And in case of tonsilolith only, some patients come tonsilolith intracapsular tonsillectomy. So but when is more, and when is more using. In case of tonsil or adenoid, like adenoid, no. If you huge adenoid, one wind with one adenoid, one tonsil, one wind will finish. In case of again, if you do the intracapsular tonsillectomy, one will be exhausted.
No, but then Dr. Tushar, if you are driving a Porsche car, then why
yes,
you are
yes,
looking for?
No,
don't look. No, then don't look at the mileage.
Yes.
Mileage you can't. Let me speak, na.
Yes.
So if you are driving a Porsche car, then don't look for the petrol. Let it consume.
Yes.
5 kilometers a liter. So my take on this is that
according to your choice, basically, is the good.
So my take is that I decide purely on the patient requirement. If the child is small, like you rightly said, if the tonsil is very small, if there's no need to remove the tonsil, if there's no recurrent infection, why you want to remove the tonsil? Just only remove the obstruction of the adenoids and the matter will be over. But if there's a requirement of tonsillectomy, if the child is small, I will do an intracapsular tonsillectomy, a complete removal of tonsils from inside. So the child will never ever require a tonsillectomy again in life. It will be painless, bloodless, and stillless. That's so I totally agree with you. If there is a constraint on the money part, then we always distribute it within patient. There are some patients with Mediclaim who pay us and their wants are not completely consumed. So we ETO them and use for the poor patient who cannot afford it. So that's the way we do it. Now, from E-class department of Silchar, boss, can you explain from where will you start coblation adenoidectomy? Upper pole, lower pole?
From upper pole. From upper pole to lower pole.
Correct. So we have already established this around 10, 11 years back when we started with our endoscope. I'm very happy that in the Eastern India, you and Dipankar, you have taken it really forward. So you always start from the upper end, because once you reach, that is the area where if you leave the adenoids, it will
periosteal seed and automatically is more comfortable basically.
Correct. And then the next question is Dr. Sanjeev Golhar. Can you do adenoidectomy in 2 steps like scraping the bulk with your curate and then coblate remaining?
No, it is very bad basically. Initially, 6 years, 7 years back, I thought that way basically, but there is a bad basically. Just complete the surgery with the coblation.
So why so?
Why? Basically uneven surface and bleeding will be that area also soil. After that, you just, if you use the coblation, that is not good plane also. Totally mess.
You are absolutely correct. So I would suggest it for 2 reasons. One is that Dr. Tushar is very clearly suggesting that it will start bleeding, then the whole field will become messy. Once there is blood in the field, and then if you're trying to use the coblation, the coblation will turn the blood, break the blood into heme, and globin is the protein. Heme is made up of iron. This iron will accumulate on your tip of the wand, and it will not let your wand work. So with bleeding, your wand will get exhausted very soon, but it will not work. Then you have to again and again keep cleaning the wand. So that is one reason. Second is that if you do not do sufficient number of cases, your hands will not become used to coblation. So if your patient is able to afford coblation, then use the coblation for the entire surgery. You will also become more and more happy. And yes, and once you have done 50 to 100 adenoidectomies, see, in case let me answer this question to Dr. Sanjeev Golhar. In case your patient is absolutely non-affording for coblation adenoidectomy, we understand that. See, even sitting in Bombay, I get patients who cannot afford it. So it is our duty to do the right thing for every patient, whether he can afford or not afford. We have to do our justice. So what I do, we always have our wands which are incompletely used in one surgery. We ETO them and keep them aside. Now this patient who cannot afford anything, even if he can pay for anesthesia, it's fine. Otherwise we pay from our pocket. So in those cases, we actually do what you say. We remove the adenoids by a curate or a microdebrider, which obviously microdebrider blade you can use for 30, 40, 50 cases. And then like this guy, Satish, what he does one part, then packs it, wait for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the bleeding will stop. Give it a good wash, the bleeding stops. And then you can actually use your coblation wand, whatever is remaining last part, you can actually use it. So we have to respect that every person in our country cannot afford coblation, and even if this patient comes to us, he has a right to get the best from our hands, because we if we are in a position of having something, we should distribute it evenly among people and give them the justice.
Just point. ETO, sometimes I don't know, basically I am attached with one corporate hospital. I have given them for ETO. So they told the ETO is sometimes difficult. In my hospital, the ETO not possible, but in that way, I used how I reuse sometimes for poor patient. So in formalin chamber is there. Formalin chamber.
Correct.
I put the formalin chamber after good wash and after good betadine wash also. And Savlon wash also. After that, formalin chamber, and again the port for poor patients sometimes.
Absolutely.
Basically,
correct.
Nowadays it's very difficult to do with conventional technique, tonsillectomy and adenectomy. For poor patient also, sometimes I reuse the blade, previous blade sometimes. That is already a good condition. So Now it is not possible. If you are habituated with the coblation, it's very difficult. Also, poor patient also, I ask, okay, no problem, coblation charge exempted. But we do with coblation also.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, that finally we do what we want to do because it's our life and we want to give the best to our people. See, this ETO machine comes for 1.5 lakhs only. It's not a very costly machine.
No, but water is there sometimes. They told that water is there. It's very difficult sometimes for ETO.
No. See, in my center, we use ETO. That's what I'm saying. It's my first-hand experience. I'm using ETO for many years now, and coblation was one of the important reasons for me to start using ETO.
Yes. Oh.
Right, and then I got this navigation. So the trackers also I use for So that's what I'm saying. This is one thing that if people think that they cannot use it, ETO is not a very costly thing. See, it is a one-time investment, and then the cost of doing ETO for one cycle, you can put as many things, is only 250 rupees.
Oh, well, that is, I don't know.
So the general cost is very less. The current cost is 250 rupees. You get that cartridge, and then your packing material will be say 5 rupees, 7 rupees for each.
Oh, yes.
So it's not much.
I think a lot of people does not know basically.
That's why I'm saying.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, there's a question from Dr. Farid Hassan. Is there risk of internal carotid artery after injury during adenoidectomy in any of the arteries?
I think no. If you go with microdeep fossa of Rosenmuller, ascending pharyngeal artery, I think the lot far away basically is very difficult.
Correct.
So
basically, internal carotid will not come. Sometimes
tonsil,
if you see a pulsating internal carotid, then obviously, see, if you are doing adenoidectomy with endoscope, you will see it's a submucosal structure. So before getting the internal carotid artery, you'll have to go through the muscles. You have to go to the fascia, then muscles, and then only you can get internal carotid artery. So it is Dr. Raj Lakshmi. Thanks for the ETO information. Okay, Dr. Raj Lakshmi, again in allergic rhinitis with adenoidectomy. Allergic rhinitis with adenoid hypertrophy.
Okay,
will adenoidectomy help?
Okay, this is very important question. There's a lot of patients coming with this allergy rhinitis with adenoid, and doctors told no, why allergy rhinitis is there. But if you are sure after doing endoscopy, the adenoid is there, definitely also allergy rhinitis, you should counsel before surgery. IG level you should, and also counsel after surgery, definitely benefit. 90% benefit. After that, sometimes anti-allergic and also spray required. But you should do adenoidectomy. After adenoidectomy, there is space, will be good space will be there. So lot of benefit will be there to the patient.
Right. There's a question which has come
Your
from...
opinion, Sam? Dr. Vikas?
Yeah.
Yes.
So see, after adenoidectomy, if there's adenoids are large, then you remove the adenoids, and then for allergic rhinitis, give the nasal spray for a long time. Dr. Pooja Soyal is asking, ETO has got carcinogenic property, so how to deal with this property? So, Dr. Pooja, ETO is carcinogenic if the ETO remains on any implant and you implant that thing inside the patient, then there's a question of carcinogenic. Here you are only using coblation wand to be cleaned, right? So you have taken that wand out and your wand is only operating at that one particular point. So whatever is chemical, if at all that micro dose is there, is already gone. So you're not leaving anything ETO inside the body. So this question is okay. Then there's a lot of questions on tonsillectomy. One question is, what about charring with cobbleter? So obviously there's no charring with cobbleter. There are a lot of questions.
You should not use the basically coagulation mode repeatedly. Why do? The ablation mode is the main. So no charring. If you char with coagulation, then charring will be there. But this is not a proper technology.
So before we go to the questions on tonsillectomy, Dr. Venugopal Reddy is asking, if patient is diagnosed OSA using Epworth Sleepiness score, do you do PSG?
Personally, I avoid doing the polysomnography in case of children. It's very difficult sometimes.
Correct. So if you are seeing large adenoids and tonsils, first do the tonsil adenoid removal, and then if there is some residual,
after that.
So now we come to questions on, okay, one sec. From Dr. Raj Lakshmi, in allergic rhinitis, if adenoid is removed, will the tonsil soon hypertrophy? Absolutely correct, it will. Therefore, you give the anti-allergic treatment.
and proper and 100% removal required basically. For that reason also the coblation required. Otherwise, if conventional technique, there will be residual tissue. Adeno is not a cancerous tissue basically. This is the hypertrophic tissue. If there will be residual tissue, then there is a chance of recurrence. If you remove everything, then
you're absolutely correct. So see, with coblation, you can easily go till the boundaries of the adenoids, which we had. You can read my paper in 2016 March issue of Indian Journal. That was the first time in the world we defined that fascia as the posterior boundary and the boundaries of adenoid. Having said that, Satish demonstrates my boundaries even with microdebrider. So it's more than important the tool. The hands behind the tool are important. Satish is a gifted surgeon, so he can do everything with any instrument he has. But for general people, what you are saying is correct. With microdebrider, going near the fascia and demonstrating everything
difficult sometimes.
Difficult. Yes, Dr. Raj Lakshmi. So tonsil will definitely, if the patient cannot tolerate INCS, what next? So if the patient cannot tolerate INCS, it's very, very rare that the patient will not be able to tolerate INCS. Once a day is the usual dose. But still, if you cannot give INCS for any reason, then you do allergy testing and you give immunotherapy. Now we come to tonsillectomy. So there are a lot of questions on tonsillectomy, but for Dr. Prakash Munka from Bokaro, sir is asking aberrant internal carotid artery sometimes rarely superficially in tonsillar fossa. Have you seen tonsil?
First, I have done. I am doing routinely under a microscope. If aberrant internal carotid artery also there, the pulsation will be seen.
Absolutely. And then again, as I said,
yes.
Again, as I see, I have no. Internal carotid artery is just behind the posterior pillar. It is never in the tonsillar fossa. But if at all you are seeing carotid artery pulsating like that, then obviously you will not perform a tonsillectomy. I have had one situation where the internal carotid artery was really very large and pulsating, and I had taken the patient up for surgery. Unfortunately, in the pre-op period, I did not notice it. So I did a intracapsular surgery. So I never went beyond the tonsil. So how I will injure the internal carotid artery.
Also, in that question, during styloid process removal, sometimes you should cautious styloid process removal.
Yeah. So
sometimes
do you perform a styloidectomy?
Yes, sometimes. I have seen also. No, I mean I do.
So
if I palpate and patients fixed the problem, the palpation also patient influence that this is the only problem. If I palpate, not doing seeing the X-ray. If I palpate the styloid, then I do definitely.
Right.
And also, if you do styloidectomy in lateral wall also, you will see the intercarotid artery also.
So therefore, this is one surgery that I am really scared. See, first of all, we do not know whether this steroid was long since childhood or not. We do not know after removing steroid will the symptoms will really go away.
Sometimes that is dubious, but if sometimes patients also relieve.
So we have
if you feel
totally agree. If it is really large and unilateral pain only on that side, then only. Okay, now from Janita Nishat, surgeon position under microscope coblation. You are sitting on the head end, correct? Head end, head low of the patient.
No,
you do head low?
No, head low. I never prefer the head low. Only sandbag is the like tonsil.
Correct. Correct. So I do not put sandbag. I put head low, my microscope has a tilt, so I do not put sandbag. Correct. So you're not. If you do not microscope does not have a tilt, then you require a sandbag. Okay, and then Dr. Sunil Nema, how to reduce pain post coblation tonsillectomy. So I think you already said that you do not get into the muscle.
Yeah, muscle. So, basically, main is the lot of question about pain. I think all time second also will answer because also answer the pain according to surgeon's technique. If we injury the muscle and use the coagulate much more. Charring much more, that pain will be there. Okay. But still, I believe the pain will be there. Any surgery of tonsil, with any means of surgery, then pain will be there. But not pain huge. In adult, I think complain the pain much more. In case of child, pain is very, very less. It's very soft tonsil and smooth plain will be there. Sometimes in adult, some patients complain the pain. According to before operation also counsel the patient, the pain will be there for 4 days, 5 days. just a good analgesic is sufficient.
So
Not
I
a
will
huge
just
pain, external pain.
So I'll just add here that pain in tonsillectomy is because of two reasons. One is your mucosal injury, like if you have an ulcer, you'll get pain. So obviously, when you remove the tonsil, there's a raw area that is going to hurt, like a mucosal uh, ulcer. For that, give Lidocam
Yes.
gargles or tablets to suck. The pain will go away. Second is because of muscular
Muscle spasm,
inflammation
muscle spasm.
and injury. So if the muscles are exposed, they will undergo inflammation, they will undergo spasm. So inflammation can be taken care of by NSAIDs. So if you give NSAID, pain will go away. But if there's a spasm of muscles, which will only happen if you really injure the muscles, in
Yes.
that case, your atraumatic technique, your intracapsular surgery will actually
Create less pain.
cause a painless.
And also microscope, under a microscope, you should do the
you
under
cannot
microscope
you cannot see
clean,
the
yes.
fascia without
No,
microscope.
clean surgery will be there.
Very nice. So Abhijit, Dr. Abhijit Shirude, any experience of complications before 5 years of age for tonsillectomy, adenoidectomy?
Complication, definitely some patients may complain up to few days.
Complications.
Complication. Complication, but sometimes no regurgitation, complication, but automatically within few days it will be normal. Basically.
Say bleeding.
Bleeding to definitely you may face initially, but to reduce the bleeding, I have a protocol to reduce the secondary. I believe this is the all are spotting, basically spotting. The after tonsillectomy with coblation, all are spotting. So I counsel before surgery and during discharge also. The 10 days I prefer, and my hospital protocol, my assistant all putting the tranexamic acid for 10 days. This is my protocol. And up to 15 days, 10 to 15 days, keep in hand the tranexamic acid. If any time you feel the one spotting of blood there, just take the tranexamic acid. I think it will be more sufficient, because a lot of problem, lot of patients, lot of surgeons complain the secondary hemorrhage much more. I think it is the less, because last 3 years a lot of surgery I have done, but no one get admission. Take the admission for
that's what
revision.
So basically, if you coagulate the artery only at the tip, then the artery is pulsating behind. So if you have opened up the tonsillar artery, then coagulated it, or only coagulated the tonsillar artery at the tip, then it can open and it may require admission and severe bleeding. But if it is only capillaries, veins, there may be some spotting. That's so. Dr. Sanjeev Golhar is asking again that lens focal length for tonsillectomy, 200 or 400.
300 basically. I use 300, not T50.
Correct. So 200 will bring your field quite closer, so your wand will not be able to work. 400 you will be working like from a distance. Yes. So 300 or 250, whatever is you have, 250 to 300 is the next question from E-Class Department of Silchar. In this era of COVID-19, is it safe to use coblation? In this era of COVID-19, there's no need to do any surgery of tonsillectomy. There's nothing which cannot wait. No technique is safe. So because the virus is in the secretion, so please do not try to unnecessarily take a risk on yourself and on the patient. See, when you take full precaution, the patient mucosa is already invaded, and he is at more risk of getting COVID if exposed. Your opinion from Dr. Farid Hassan, your opinion on abscess tonsillectomy for Quincy?
Abscess, during abscess, definitely not a tonsillectomy. After abscess treatment, definitely a recurrent abscess, you may do tonsillectomy like normal, basically.
So from Dr. Satyavrata Fukan, good discussion. Dr. Farid Hassan, do you have to do external ligation for bleeding? No, never. So I think we are done. All the questions we have taken, and it's already 8:03. So I thank you, Dr. Tushar, for holding very nice talk.
Thank you so much.
And for all the delegates, all our colleagues to participate in this talk. And we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Vikas Agarwal, taking the moderator charge, and I am grateful to you.
No, you're a friend, and that's more than important. And what you spoke is absolutely close to my heart. I believe that if adenoids are like even septoplasty, tubnoplasty, whatever is required, a child has a right to breathe through his nose. If the child does not breathe through his nose, he will have problems. So
Yes, it's all time basically. It's my regular day by practice, and
Correct,
we
correct.
feel this is a problem, and I think we should convince the other ENT surgeon also. I have the one.
So this is
one
the reason we are
elevation, no?
doing. This is the reason we are doing this seminar. But
Yeah,
but
thank you, sir.
nothing during COVID. Nothing during COVID. So 2020 is
Yes,
washed
yes.
out. You learn it for 2020, 1 second half.
Yes, yes.
1 year, nothing. It's going to take that much. So,
I
but
don't
thank you
know,
very
I
much.
don't know basically future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ghosh and Dr. Vikas Agarwal, sir, for enlightening us with your experience, of the real-time experience about and breaking the myths about endoscopies and sleep disorders in children.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.